Good. Okay.
There
Awesome.
we
Well,
go.
thank you, Candace. Thank you, Kendall. Thank you, ladies, for putting this on. Thank you, Karen Ford. Big love. We love you. Thank you for your leadership. And she's still on this. Look, the lady had her knee replaced like 3 days or 4 days ago. Are you kidding me? Like crazy. What commitment is that? Honestly, she's amazing. We love her to pieces. And thank you for just leading the way you do, Karen, so well. You're loving all of us, and we're so grateful for your consistency. We're grateful for your mindset, your attitude, just the way you lead your life and how you consistently show up as for your team. Um, it's a great example for all of us. So thank you. And welcome everyone to this training tonight. I'm excited you're on here. Um, you know, one of the greatest things once you get a little bit of experience in the industry is you want to pass that along, right? It fills up your significant bucket when you can kind of pass on things that you've picked up along the way. And we have a real treat here tonight. We've got three incredible ladies that you're going to hear from, all from different backgrounds, different experiences. And so I'm glad you got your pen and papers handy, and we're gonna kind of cover a topic right now that's kind of it's pretty broad, right? It's inviting tips. It's our best inviting tips is what we're going to talk about, or some of our best inviting tips. And in network marketing, work is talking to people. Would you agree? Right? That's what work is. And so if that's what work is, what are we going to say? Right? Is that a logical conclusion? And so I think for a lot of people, a lot of us, it maybe gives us anxiety when we don't really have confidence around some verbiage or around the industry or around exactly what the products do or all these type of things. There's so many variables that kind of go into this thing. And here's what I would say and what I've observed after doing this for 23 years. And it doesn't matter what company, but I think this is a fairly true statement. If you were to, every person that's made it to the top in any company, the only difference between them and the rest of us is this. They've had more objections and more rejections to navigate around, meaning they've made more invitations and they've been involved in more conversations, right? It's a repetition game. And so we all come to the starting point at different backgrounds, different skill sets, right? So it's not fair to compare. Don't ever compare yourself to other people, right? We know that's the thief of joy. Don't do that. But, you got to find your rhythm. But what I want to get across is consistency is key. You've got to do the activity, and the activity is talking to people. And so you've got to find things to say. You got to build your confidence around that. I love this analogy. Professional baseball, it's almost baseball, almost spring season again. I live in Arizona. That's a big thing around here. And those guys that play professional baseball, right? The guys that get paid the gazillions of money, right? The multi millionaires. What are their batting averages? Their batting averages in a professional game, right, is 300 or higher. Those are the ones that make all the money. So what does 300 or higher mean? It means for every 10 times these gazillionaires step up to the plate, they strike out seven. They miss the ball seven times. Okay. These are the best, these are the elite in the world in that game, in that sport. But they swing seven times and they miss the ball. They hit it three times. And inviting is like taking a swing. Our job is to step up to the plate and take a swing. Take a swing, 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 and let the law of averages work in our favor. I don't think any of us can strike out 10 times in a row. I just don't. I think if we have an authentic invitation from our heart and we're passionate about it and we deliver it hot, we know it cold, right? I think you will move people to the point where they're open to get educated further. One of the things I love to ask people is, would you agree with me that knowledge is never a disadvantage? That's kind of my opening statement when I invite someone to take a look at something. Like when you say that, you kind of have, carte blanche to follow up that statement with some education, right? Which includes an invitation usually. So that's just kind of like one of my tips. I love weaving that in. But I don't want to do all the talking tonight. I've grabbed a support team here today, ladies and gentlemen, of three incredible ladies that are doing amazing things in NPG, and they all have vast backgrounds, like I mentioned. And I just want them to pour into you, and it's going to be good. I promise you, it's going to be a good one. And I want to start with Sarah Arndt. She's amazing. Sarah is a mom of three girls, a super busy mom. She homeschools, she works part-time in the corporate sector. She's been here for 5.5 months. She's building a great big team. She has brought in a lot of people, a lot. And I'm not going to say a number because we don't want anyone to get discouraged here, right? But she's so that clearly means that she's had a lot of conversations, right? A lot of invitations means a lot of conversations. And that's something we can all control, right? As ISRs, we can control our activity. We can control how often we open up our mouth and give an invitation, right? So Sarah's done a lot of that, and I've just watched her rise in leadership. The woman is as authentic as they come, heart-led, servant-led, and just is very clear that this is her financial vehicle to create the freedom in her life and her family's life that they're desperately seeking. A big part of inviting guys and gals is getting convicted yourself on what you're inviting people to look at, right? Whether you're convicted on the products or whether you're convicted on the financial model of network marketing. That belief, like I've mentioned it before, right? We're only going to go as far and as fast as that belief takes us. It is true. So do whatever you can. Get to momentum, right? Don't squander this by not getting to momentum. I watched someone, couldn't make momentum last time, and I watched it set them back, and they're still set back. And they had a very valid, justifiable reason, but it comes at a cost. Those decisions come at a cost. So I've just watched Sarah, step up. She leads her own opportunity Zooms. We've had like 60, 70 people on these things, right? There's momentum, and she's just going first and leading and having the conversations. And so I'm so excited that you can come on here, Sarah. Thanks for stepping away from the busy family schedule tonight, and thanks for serving us so well. We are honored to have you on tonight.
Thank you so much, Mark. What a amazing intro. So I appreciate that. All those nice words. So I have two nuggets for you that I really thought hard about this, like what really is my mantra and what I think that really invites people to look at what I share. So the first nugget is this: gain at a higher level of confidence. So, what I want you to think of when you think of that is like level up your confidence, not only in yourself, but like the products we share. Be so confident in what it is. And here's one thing that I like to always remind people is like, stop doubting yourself and stop caring what other people think. So if you come to, whether it's you talking to someone one on one, whether it's you posting on social media, whatever it is, just give it to them raw. Stop doubting yourself. Really pour into making sure that you are being confident in what you share. I asked someone the other day, I said, hey, when you look at my Facebook, what does it tell you? Do you think that I'm being salesy when I share? And they said, no, all I see is that you're confident. And I'm like, okay, good. I love that. I want to be confident. I want people to understand what I'm sharing. And I want them to know what I have is so different than everything else that is being shared. And I really, truly, in my heart, believe that. So, and you have to believe that too. In order for you to be authentic to yourself, like you have to understand what we have here is like nothing else that is out there. And I really truly believe that from a product perspective, but also a company perspective. From a company perspective, do you guys realize how incredible it is that this is really, I know it's a 3-year-old company. Like I kind of sometimes think like it's even newer than that because it really started to take off when Fix joined into the mix. But the fact that this company has been around for 20 plus years from a manufacturing standpoint, you guys know how well that positions this company financially. Like this sets us up for like just a huge runway and being able to package our goods. So anyways, I won't go on a tangent, but just from a company perspective, it sets us apart. But then when you look at a product perspective, what we have here is literally like nothing else. I always like to think of things like this is not just a supplement, this is a healing hack. It truly is. And I always like to remind people because we live in a world where you don't want to make medical claims. So I don't. I say this product is incredible. What it does is activate the vagus nerve, but the body itself is healing itself because we're putting the body in a state where it can heal. So make sure you're speaking confidently. I say that. I say I've never spoke so confidently about a product in my entire life. Why? Because to doubt this product is to doubt God's design. Like that's how bold I am. To doubt this product, I'm going to say it again, to doubt this product is to actually doubt God's design. We are made as healing machines. And I truly 100% believe that. Like we weren't made to just be in a hamster wheel and go in a downward spiral when we're sick. No, we will do that in fight or flight. We will do that when we're in a state of stress, but understand what the vagus nerve does. And so I'll confidently tell people, I'm like, this product is going to bring you balance. God will do the rest because it's finally putting your body in a state in which He designed you. So God didn't design us to be in fight or flight. God didn't design us to be stressed all the time. So being in that rest and digest is huge. And so when you're conveying your message to people, illustrate that. I just spoke with a woman for 40 minutes about an hour ago before this call, and she shared her story with me. But I said to her, I'm like, it's not the product that's going to heal you, but just think you're finally putting your body in a state in which God designed you to finally heal. All this product is doing is activating the vagus nerve. So such a simple way. And I know you have a ton of supplements in your medicine cabinet already. This isn't a supplement. This is a health hack. It's literally bringing your body into balance. So just make sure that when you're sharing your message that that's coming across, and be bold. Don't care what people think. Be so confident about it. I just shared on my social media about 33 minutes ago. It says your nervous system is one of the most overlooked system in the body, and it contributes to it contributes the most to our health. If your nervous system isn't balanced, you are not in a state of healing. Count on being stuck until the root cause, until you address the root cause. Peace. Like I'm confidently saying that you will not heal if your nervous system is in a downward spiral. Like this is so foundational for our health. So be confident, be bold. So when you're sharing,
Where are you
think of
going?
those things. Oh, I think we have just a tiny bit of
No,
background.
I'm listening to a call. Yeah, sweaty. Sure. I'm gonna leave my stuff here then.
How was you working out?
The bike and
Wendell, can you mute
stretching
Shelly Belly?
It's just Chelly Belly.
how
Hey,
about
Chelly
you?
Belly,
You're gaming.
does somebody have access to mute them? There we go.
Okay, that's okay.
Sorry about
Anyway,
that.
so no, you're totally fine. So just level up. Think of it from just be so confident and be bold because really what we have here is so exclusive. So level up your confidence. And when you're sharing, share in a way where it's giving them a variety of just like to the point confidence. So that's my number one. Okay, number two, and maybe you're already doing this, but I just feel like this is so important. And I have enrolled a lot of people. I'm going to tell you what, people will not click and buy unless they understand really what this is going to do for them. So invite them to share their story. Ask. The woman I spent 40 minutes on the phone earlier today, she shared her story with me. I'm now vested in her healing journey. And that's time consuming, but I tell you what, when you walk shoulder to shoulder with someone on their healing journey, they're having such a huge level of confidence in your support and you being able to walk with them. So give them that invitation. Something I always like to ask is, what caught your eye with this product? Or can you share some of your health goals with me? Because I'd love to share some testimonials that I've seen from my own personal customers as well as my own experience. So I invite them to open up. People that just send me a message and say, I'd like more information, whatever it may be. I want to know what is so specific to them. Allow them to open up to you and share. Be a hope dealer. And I don't say that in a salesy way. Like, being a hope dealer is not a bad thing, you guys. Being a hope dealer means that you really have confidence. Again, going back to that first point, you have a confidence in this product that is like through the roof. God designed us perfectly. This product brings our body to balance. It activates the vagus nerve. We know what that does. So be a hope dealer. Most of the people that I hear on testimonial calls, and I'll say this, are people who have struggled for years. We know this because you guys have been on the same testimonial calls I've been on. And some of you in this meeting probably are ones that have shared in there as well. People deal with things for multiple years. They're worn out. They've exhausted all of their options with conventional medicine, even holistic, different things that they've tried. Nothing seems to break through, and they are still stuck until they try fix. Why? Because it finally puts the body in balance. It finally allows the body to do what God designed us to do, and that's to heal. Our nervous system is such an integral part of our overall health that it's like nothing else. People can spend thousands of dollars on supplements. They can spend thousands of dollars on treatment. If their nervous system is imbalanced, they are literally going to be on a hamster wheel. I know I already mentioned that, but that's so important. Tell your people this, why it's different. This is not another supplement. I had one woman say to me, I just have so many supplements in my medicine cabinet. I don't use half of them, and they're just sitting there collecting dust. I don't know if I want to spend more money. And I said, I just want to make sure you understand what this is because I am confident in the fact of even saying it's not a supplement. It's not giving your body anything. Like we take, I'm just going to make this up, like the immunity core. Like that's a supplement. That's giving our body. This isn't giving our body anything aside from the fact that it's a health hack. It's activating the vagus nerve. I listened to our Scottish friend, our doctor friend that's done videos, and she says it on that video. This is the biggest health hack I've ever seen. And I love that. Coming from a professional, saying that is so important. So you say it too. You tell them why it's so important. So give them validation when they share their story. Tell them that you've never felt so confident in a product ever, and that it's bringing the body into a state where you're designed to heal and be that hope dealer. Tell them I've never felt so confident and this is going to help you. Because don't doubt it. Because like I said earlier, if you doubt that, you're really doubting God's design because we are designed to heal. God made us perfectly. So I will end with that. Mark, I don't know if I took too much time, but those are my two nuggets. I hope they were helpful, but that's really where I lead. That's where my heart leads with anybody I talk to. Those two nuggets are probably the biggest thing I focus on when I share.
Come on, Sir Art, that was cool. My goodness, thank you so much. I thank you, thank you, thank you. I took some notes. I'm always learning too, and I learned that from Karen Ford. Like Karen never stops learning on these Zooms, and I'm like, wow. First of all, that's a model of humility that I want to follow. So thank you, Karen. But thank you for sharing from your heart. You articulate things so beautifully, Sarah, and you've given us so many great nuggets. Speak confidently, be a hope dealer. Invite them to share their story. It makes you invest in their healing. That's great. I love how you said that. That was so good, right? Um, to doubt this product is to actually doubt God's design. I don't think any of us really want to be a doubter of anything God's made. So that's a great perspective and a great way to look at this thing. And gain a higher level of confidence. Level up your confidence, right? Did we not hear that? That was a resounding theme, right? Would you not? This is it coincidence that she's brought in a lot of people, right? People are drawn to the certainty. Certainty is sexy, by the way. It's sexy and it's attractive, and people want that. That's what they want to follow. Yes. So thank you, Sarah. Great wisdom from you tonight. We really appreciate your heart. And
Thanks
thank
for
you for
having
going
me.
first on us. You bet. Absolutely. We're going to shift up to north of the border, up to Calgary, Alberta, Canada. We heard this amazing leader here about 2 weeks ago. She took us through like this mind-blowing training. It was phenomenal. Um, you know, I've got mad adoration for Kelly Beveridge. I've watched her journey in this profession. I've pretty well been aware of it from day one when she got involved. And I've watched who she's become. She didn't come in to dabble. She didn't come in to just try it, right? By the way, people follow committed people. If you say I'm trying something in your invitation, eliminate I'm trying, right? They hear I'm trying. What they interpret is I'm not fully committed. That person's not fully. Why in the world would someone want to follow someone that's not fully committed, right? So we're not trying nothing here. Nothing. We're doing it, right? That's what we're doing in our invitation. We're telling people what we're doing. We're casting our vision, right? Inviting them to share their story, and they can find something in our story that they can relate to. And a lot of, inviting is being really, really good at asking questions, right? He who asks the questions controls the conversation. You kind of guide the conversation that way. But Kelly is a master. She has honed her craft. She has literally, at one point of her life, she's been involved in this profession for 13 years. At one point of her life, she packed up and she lived for 6 years in South Africa because she had a vision to grow that company. So that country with the company she was in, and literally went from belly to belly, meeting to meeting, conversation to conversation, right? She didn't just like roll out of bed and become Kelly Beveridge, the Kelly Beveridge that is so incredible. Every time she speaks, you like how will ever be that good. She invested in her talent and her skills over the years, and she got around the greats, and she learned from them, and she's applied it. And so this is one of the most grounded women I know in my life. She's just emotionally, spiritually, every element. She's disciplined, and she just is a great leader. And she's going to do something fun for us tonight too. And so I know you're going to look forward to her segment. So Kelly, thanks for jumping on. Can't wait to
Holy
listen to some of
smokes,
your
can I take
wisdom.
you on the road with me? Like, what an introduction.
Yes.
I got to live up to that. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you, Mark. I'm so grateful you reached out to me and invited me. Speaking of inviting, I was looking, and we find people who are looking, even if sometimes we don't know quite that we are. And Sarah, that was awesome. I've been following you. You're like my new favorite person. I just catch so much wisdom from you all the time. I've been hopping on your Zooms. I've been sharing what you're posting. I'm learning from you daily. And I just took a whole bunch of notes too. So this is just so cool to all work together, everybody. So I'm just going to share my screen, and oh, perfect. It's here. Yay. I got a Mac a year ago and I'm still learning how to use it. I was like, I hope what I pulled up is here. And it is. So I'm going to take a little bit of a different approach. So Sarah did such a phenomenal job talking about, inviting with confidence, you leading with the product and sharing about the product. I'm going to talk about inviting, leading with the business. And then I'm going to actually do a couple live invites right here on the call with all of you listening to me. So my heart is already pumping a little bit, okay? So anybody here get nervous when you say you're going to start inviting people, even when it's just you in your kitchen by yourself, right? So it's normal to be nervous. It's okay to be nervous. And I hope that by doing a few live invites with you, and you're like, if Kelly can do it when all of us are listening to her, I can do this when I'm by myself, okay? Because it's not about being perfect. It's just about doing the act, and it's about taking the swings like Mark just shared. So I just want to give you a few tips before we go into an actual example. So when you're inviting, here's some things that I just encourage you to consider, okay? So who are you inviting? I consider you to be strategic. Have a contact list. Just don't willy-nilly, casualness causes casualties. So don't just randomly be inviting people. I would literally have your list. Also, the reason why it's important, because it takes out the procrastination. Usually people will hum and haw around inviting, and that's where most of the exhaustion in the business comes from. But if you have your list in front of you, you have no reason, right, not to just get to it. Okay. The second thing is to invite with intention. I always say, like, why are you inviting? Are you inviting for people to look at the product, or are you inviting for people to look at the business, or both? You want to have certainty. You want to have clarity. What are you inviting people to? Okay. Also, what are you inviting people to when it comes to the exposure? Are you reaching out to connect with them and ask them to watch a video? Are you asking them to get on a one-on-one call with yourself? Are you inviting them to a three-way? Are you inviting them to a business overview? Right? So we're always inviting to some kind of presentation, but know this before you're doing the invite so you can have that confidence that Sarah talked about. Okay. The last part is, how are you inviting? Are you picking up the phone and doing an old school phone call, right? That takes some courage. Are you leaving a voice note? That's the example I'm going to give you. Are you texting, or are you sending an email, right? There's different ways to invite. So what are you doing? How do you like to do it? Most importantly, there's no wrong way to invite. Do what you're going to do. So if picking up the phone is like, there's no way you're going to do that right now, no worries, right? Send a voice note. If you're like, oh my gosh, that freaks me out, no problem. Send a text. Just do what you're going to do to get you into momentum. Okay. You want to know some best practices for booking times. I'm going to give you a couple examples once I do my invite. And I always say, I don't like to use scripts, but I like to have guidelines or maybe some post-it or some things just to trigger myself so that I don't by accident get nervous and get caught up and get up talking. Okay. So just before I give you a script and actually give you an example, I like to say there's 5 C's to inviting. So first thing, if you're calling somebody, clear the time. So an invite is literally an invite. It's not the presentation. The purpose of an invite is to invite to a presentation so the tool of the presentation can do the work for you. Okay, so if you're calling somebody, just clear the time. Hey, Mark, what's up? Do you have 2 minutes? Okay, so when I'm leaving somebody a voice note, it's like 1 minute to 90 seconds. The second C is to control yourself. So there is no presentation in the invitation. If you're talking about the products and it's 3 minutes in and you're now describing what the vagus nerve does and how it works and how you're now presenting. Okay, if you're talking about the business and explaining the compensation plan and you're now presenting. So an invite, you want to be saying less. You're creating curiosity. Okay, that's another C. Less is more. Creating enough curiosity where they lean in and they're like, I want to know more. Tell me more. Okay. You want to compliment the person. Compliments go so far. Be genuine, be authentic. Yet, why are you reaching out to that person specifically? Is it because they're your bestie and you love them? Is it because you know they care about their health and you want them to know about this? Is it because they're entrepreneurial, personal development oriented? Is it because you know they're an amazing networker? Like, why are you specifically reaching out to that person? And then the last C is to get a commitment. The whole point of an invite is to get a commitment for them to look at an exposure, whatever it is that you're inviting them to, such that they say yes, and you can either send them the video, schedule that call with yourself, schedule the three-way, or get them on a business overview. Okay, so here is an example of how to invite to the business. If you like, you can take a picture of this. So this is what I like to do. Okay, posture is really important. Okay, those things that I talked about being really intentional. What are you inviting to? Yet what I like to do first is I always send a text. So let's say, I was messaging Mark, right? Or I'm inviting Mark. I'm going to be like, hey, Mark, how are you? Hey, I had a quick question for you. It doesn't matter if I talked to Mark yesterday, if I haven't talked to Mark for 5 years, or if I went to high school with him. I'm going to text him that because that creates the curiosity. Oh, interesting. What does Kelly want? And then I'm going to leave a voice note and I'm going to say, hey, okay, pleasantries. So however you know them, long time no talk, Mark. Oh my gosh, how you doing? Seeing you on Facebook. Looks like you're living life, right? I'm leaving a brief message as I'm reaching out for a reason. This to me is my opinion in inviting is to always speak the truth. Be honest, have posture. I always like to say I'm reaching out for a reason because that also creates curiosity. But also, what it does is it allows you and gives you permission to go right into a business invite without dancing around. Okay. A lot of people by accident, I feel, invite in a way where it's accidentally manipulative and doesn't feel good to the person on the other side of the call because they'll say things like, hey, Mark, how's it going? Haven't talked to you forever. Would love just to know how you're doing and catch up. And then me and Mark are back and forth. I'm asking about his family. We're chatting. And then I'm trying to figure out how to slip in the invite around the product or the business. And it's awkward. And I feel awkward. And finally, when I do say, by the way, I have a business, Mark's going to go, you didn't want to know how I was doing. You just wanted to invite me to your shtick. Right. So I always believe that the truth is good enough. Being honest and upfront allows you and gives you permission to get to the point. And during the presentation is when you build that relationship. So I'll just say, hey, listen, I'm reaching out for a reason. I don't know if you know, and I'm going to share my brief story. So whatever your story is, I came across this product. It's completely changed my quality of life. And I've decided to do the business because I can help a lot of people and make money while I'm running my other businesses. So you're sharing your story briefly. Okay, you're not going into presentation mode, but to create curiosity, to create relatability, you can tweak that story based on who you're talking to. And then I'm just going to say, I'm wanting to invite you to take a look at the business or the product, depending on what your invite is, but I'm inviting somebody to the business. And I thought of you because that's where you can compliment them. Okay. I'm going kind of into detail. When you do this, it literally takes about a minute, but I'm just explaining to you why for these things. So then I'm just going to say, hey, listen, I don't know if this is going to be a fit. I take it away. So here's the best part with inviting when you have posture. You're saying, I want you to take a look at this. I thought of you because, but it might not be a fit. That's giving you the posture where all of a sudden that person on the other end who can let their guard down because you're not trying to get them. You don't need them. They're not feeling pressure like you're going to sell them. You're like, it might not even be for you. The person could be like, oh, okay, right? Yet I would love, and this is where you're going to invite them to whatever you're inviting them to. So I like to invite people to a 30-minute call with myself. I would love to invite you to a 30-minute conversation because I'm inviting to the business, which is going to require a conversation. So I would love to invite you to a 30-minute chat. You know, if this isn't a fit for you, you might know someone you can refer to me. Once again, takes the pressure off that person. Plus, I would love to catch up and know how you're doing. Okay, if you're inviting, hey, listen, I would love to send you a 4-minute video or a 9-minute video. You can take a look. If it piques your curiosity, we could then hop on a call and have a further conversation. Hey, listen, I'd love to invite you to, we're having a business overview, phenomenal leaders on tonight. I want to invite some special guests, so I thought of you. So it doesn't matter what you're inviting them to, they're at the end, okay? And then you can just say, please get back to me today. Urgency, right? Can you get back to me today? This is really important. I really want to talk to you. Look forward to connecting. So this is an example of a guideline of a script that I use. And so I just have a few minutes left. And so with my time, I'm going to give you a real live invite, okay, of how I would do this. So kind of follow along with the script there. I might not say it exactly because I'm just going to share it how I'd share it, but I'm going to do my best to use this so that you have a real example. I'm going to invite this girl, Noelle. I haven't talked to her in 30 years, literally. Went to high school with her. She was a friend of my older brother's, but we always talk on Facebook, like each other's posts and say, hey, how's it going from time to time and things like that. Okay, so I'm using her as an example because I want you to know you can use this with people that you've been in each other's energy, but you might not have talked to them for a long time. Hi, Noelle. How's it going? Hey, long time no talk. Oh my gosh, we haven't talked in probably 30 years, but I know we've been chit-chatting on Facebook. I see you're doing some cool things. Hey, listen, I'm leaving you a brief message for a reason. I don't know if you know, but I've been an entrepreneur the last 15 years, and about 7 months ago, I came across this phenomenal wellness product, and the business model is just amazing. The leadership is great. And I know that you're a personal trainer and you work with a lot of clients. And I just see you always posting all the amazing things that you're doing, supporting people with their health, Noelle. So I have no idea if what I'm up to would be a fit for you, but I really wanted to invite you to take a look at the business. Maybe you want to add another revenue stream to what you're up to. And I know you like helping people with their health. So I just thought, you know what? I'm going to reach out to you. It's been a long time. And there's just always synergies to support each other. And I just really love to know how you're doing also. I'm reaching out because I want to ask if you have 30 minutes sometime this week. Maybe we can hop on a call and connect. So if you can get back to me today, that would be awesome. I'd love to hear back from you either way. Okie dokie. Hope you're having a great day and a great start to the new year. So I don't know. I left it. So here's the thing. Did I flub a little bit? Yeah. Did I say it exactly like that? No, it doesn't matter. Like Mark said, I'm taking the swing. I'm taking the swing. So be yourself, be genuine, talk how you would talk. Don't not talk how you would talk. I talk to people like, what's up? How's it going? Okie dokie, right? Like that's how I talk. So that's how I'm going to leave my message. But following this kind of an example. Okay. So I'll leave one more. Mark, do I have time to do one more? Yeah, okay, I'll leave one more, okay? I'm going to leave this one as an example of, hey, would you be open to just taking a look at like a 4-minute video? Because I know a lot of us do that. I do that too. Okay, I'll leave another one. This is a girl, Tara. I haven't talked to her in a few years, but I usually reach out to her around different businesses, okay, that we do together. Okay. Hey Tara, how's it going? Long time no chat, friend. Hey, I think I saw that you are moving to Australia. Amazing that you're finally doing that. That's so cool. Listen, I'm reaching out for a reason. You know, I always love to share different business things that I'm doing with you. And I came across a product recently. It's a wellness product. It's completely changed, my health, going through perimenopause. I know we were talking about that the last time we were connecting. And so I thought of you for the product, but also for the business because the business is in Australia. So I'm not sure what you're planning on doing over there, but I just thought to invite you to take a look at the business and the product because you're always just so open. I know you have a big network. We've done things together in the past, and I just didn't want to not include you. So, hey, it might not be a fit, but just get back to me. I wanted to see if you'd be open to hopping on a call, or what I can do is just shoot you a quick 7-minute video, and if it piques your curiosity, then let's hop on a call. We can connect, see how each other's doing, and there's just always ways to support each other. So just get back to me today. Look forward to hearing back from you, and just hope you're doing well, my friend. Okay, take care. Okay, right. So another one. So honestly, this is what I do throughout the day. And in all honesty, when I first started this business, I was mostly hanging out in people's DMs. So the last thing I kind of want to share to wrap this up is, if your intention is to send a video and have a conversation in DMs, it's not bad, but it's not necessarily effective, because what will happen is you will just be hanging out in people's DMs, and you'll be having long conversations over weeks and months back and forth. So my encouragement is to get that conversation out of the DM as quick as possible, so you can do what Sarah was talking about, which is connect with people and know their stories. So even if you have a bunch of people in DMs that you're talking to, you can go back and leave a similar voice note like this and say, hey, listen, I actually do want to know more about where you are to share about the business and the product. Would you be open to hopping on a quick call with me? And you can go back and use this as a follow-up as well, and reach out to all those people you've been in conversations with. Because a 15 or 20-minute conversation, your goal is to either get them to do the business, if not the business, the product, if not the product, refer you to a couple people. And it's not a waste of your time. It will lead to something. So Mark, back to you.
Come on, Kelly Beverage. Can we give her a hand, everyone? Come on. Was that not awesome? Kelly, I got a text from a mutual friend and builder, Debbie Reynolds. Kelly is such a fantastic, phenomenal trainer. That was the word, phenomenal. So thank you for taking us through a chronological order. Thank you for giving us a real example of leaving messages, what it looks like, what it sounds like. Some of my takeaways from what I just heard Kelly talk about, right? Casualness causes casualties, all right? Let's not be casual about anything. And I love, especially around the voice messages she left, right? Did you notice the confidence? Sarah talked about confidence, right? Did you notice an air of confidence coming from Kelly on the message she was leaving? Charisma. I think it's a skill in network marketing that you've got to be able to learn to fluctuate your tone and intonation, right? You got to be excited. You've got to know when to kind of amp up the conversation. And listen, life happens to us all. We're never going to be like on cloud nine and using that specific moment to pick up the phone and leave these messages. Like life beats us down, all of us. So you got to be able to turn the switch, right? Turn the switch and turn it on, and leave those messages. Be someone that someone wants to follow. Be an attractive human. Be enthusiastic, right? Be passionate. Be excited about what you got. Create some curiosity with your enthusiasm, right? Some of you I might be too much for on here. I don't know. Maybe I am, but hey, it's what I'm sold on this thing, and I'm passionate about it, and hopefully that comes through, right? So I just those are some of the things I picked up from her leaving those live messages: the confidence, the charisma, the certainty, right? And the posture, right? I don't know if this is for you or not, but you know what? That's up to you to decide. My job is to do the invitation, is to connect you and get you educated and let you make a decision. So thank you, Kelly. That was amazing. We really, really appreciate it. Fantastic job as always. Awesome. And we've got a doozy for our wrap up here, ladies and gentlemen. And then there's more. Okay. Like I told you, this was going to be a good one. I hope you got lots of notes here tonight, guys and gals. Evray, oh my goodness. I think one of the best things about MPG, if you're paying attention, is the caliber of people that are attracted to this company. Okay, that's a powerful statement. What I said, they're attracted to the culture, right? Culture is a really big deal, right? We become like the people we spend our time with, and if you're building a business, you're going to get close to people, and you're going to be influenced by them, right? I always tell people choose your care. Your making a decision to join a company is crucial. Frankly, it's an extension of your reputation, your character, and your credibility by association. So you better make a good choice. And I love the fact that we've got quality people like Everett that have been doing this at a high level for 37 years. That's a long time, right? That's a lot of mastery under her belt. That look at MPG and like, there's something different here. There's something going on that I want to be a part of. And what I love most is just, yeah, Ev's done it all. And yet she's on every call, seeking to learn, grow more, understand the culture, understand the dynamics, always challenging, just always looking to better understand so that she can lead better, lead and love others better. This woman has a heart of gold. She loves Jesus. She's amazing. And Ev shared a concept with me earlier in the week, and I'm like, Ev, can we hit that on repeat for next Tuesday night? Everyone needs to hear this. And so she's going to put a bow on our talk tonight. And thank you for jumping on, Ev. We're so grateful for your leadership. She's up in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. Boy, lots of good things coming out of Canada, right? This is so good. So, anyways, Ev, it's awesome to have you on, and we just can't wait to hear what you're gonna bless us with, my friend.
Wow. Well, thank you so, so much, Mark. Honestly, all of you, I have no idea what I did in this life to attract this, but I am just so thrilled to be here. I'm so thrilled to be partnered with Mark. Leadership extraordinaire, and honestly, Sarah and Kelly, what an act to follow. I'm taking notes like crazy. I've just learned so much. I loved Sarah's just her confidence, and Kelly talked about posture. So, so important. If you can nab anything in this industry, you got to figure out how to believe in your product, believe in your company, believe in yourself, and take that posture that people need because you really are delivering them hope. And so I'm going to talk a little bit something a little bit different. You heard some excellent, wow, was it really amazing? I mean, she like literally left a live message right in front of us all. That takes a lot of courage, and it was amazing. I loved it. So you're going to see me glancing down every now and again because I can really get carried away. So I took some very copious notes about what I want to say to you because I want to make sure that I get the message across that I believe has been laid on my heart to give you. So, and I didn't get it on a PowerPoint, so I got to glance down. So, but that's okay, right? Okay, so I just am going to start with this. You heard a lot of great training tonight from these two amazing women and their talking points. They're talking about posture, talking about confidence, and I'm going to talk to you for just the next few minutes about what has to happen before we use those words. So, what this is about, it's about mindset. It's about the mindset that we carry when we approach people. Because people don't feel our scripts at first. They feel our energy, they feel our belief, and they feel our intention. I've titled this, maybe you want to write this down because it can be quite thought-provoking for you. Who loses if we don't win? I'm going to start with just a little short story. And the reason I decided to do this, because I thought this would be a really good reminder for you, just that little reminder. Sometimes we forget, sometimes we can get so caught up in what we're doing, we forget what we're doing it for and who we're doing it for. And so I'm going to tell you a little short story over just to remind you. This might be somebody that's praying for you to come with the story of MPG. There was once a young woman and she had two young children, and she lived a fairly comfortable financial life. And then one day she suddenly found herself out on her own. She was staring at a mortgage, groceries, school costs, and the reality of raising two children by herself. And she was terrified. She prayed constantly, asking God, how was she going to provide for her children, especially in the way that they had been accustomed to in their life? And one day a good friend came to her and just simply said to her, you'd be really good at sales. Why don't you give it a try? And this was way out of her realm of thinking because she had spent most of her adult years just helping her husband build a company. She did books and all the things that come with owning a big company. But she was so desperate, and she had a little glimmer of hope after speaking with her friend, and she decided to give it a try. And that was her very first introduction to direct selling. Fast forward several years later, she had remarried and she was pregnant with her third child. And somebody introduced her to network marketing. And she was so excited that she tells everybody she didn't sleep for a year. When she saw this concept, She really felt like it was the most democratic way that anybody could offer anybody hope. She was bitten by the bug and she never looked back. She realized that no matter your age, your background, your race, your education, if you have a dream for yourself, for your family, and you have a dream to help others, that this was a vehicle in which you could do that. So that woman was me many years ago. And that experience really shaped the way that I began to view business. Because one of the biggest things that stops people in this industry is not rejection. It isn't. It's self-focus. So when it's about me, we shrink. So this ties back into how do we gain that confidence? How do we take the posture that Kelly talked about? What if they say no? What if I sound salesy? What if I bother them? What if I'm messing up? But when it becomes about them, then something inside you will shift. And it's very, very powerful. Now we think about their health and their energy and their stress load and their finances and their future. Confidence doesn't come from being perfect. It comes from caring more about helping others than being liked. And we also need to stop letting no take us out of the game. I always say no isn't N-O, it's K-N-O-W. You just don't know. If you knew what I knew, you wouldn't be saying no to me. You'd have to say yes. And so let me continue to share with you until you understand what I'm trying to say. So a no is just simply asking for more information. It is not rejection. It might mean not now. It might mean I'm broke. It might mean I'm not ready. I'm not educated enough. And it might mean I'm not in enough pain to do something different. So our job is simply to present, and their job is to decide. And this business actually only works if we genuinely believe in what we're offering. One of the things that I saw when I'm looking at all the criteria, there's 5 criteria when you're picking a company, and timing is the number one. And product is very important. Does the product work? And do people need the product? Is it relevant in the current social way that we're living right now? That becomes very, very important. We have to genuinely believe in what we have and what we're offering, whether it be the product or whether it be a financial opportunity. And so we really, truly do have products, don't we, that change how people feel in their bodies. We've heard thousands of testimonies. We know that to be true. People have more energy, better digestion. They think clearer. They have hope. They feel better. And we have a financial opportunity that, trust me, it offers something incredibly rare. As a matter of fact, within 5 short months ago, I said to somebody, I actually don't believe I'll ever see in my lifetime again an opportunity like I've had in my career. And I shouldn't have said that because then I was presented with MPG and I knew that wasn't true. The other thing is we have choice. We have choice. What are we going to do with our time? We have choice in regards to stress. We can choose these things. We can choose in regards to our finances. We can choose to build something meaningful. When you truly believe that this opportunity can change lives, withholding it then is what becomes the risk. Not about what people will think about, not about how uncomfortable we might be, but withholding it becomes the risk, a risk for yourself, for your own future, as well as for other people that are waiting for you. People are praying for you to come. I once prayed that somebody would come to me with an answer. So let me bring you back to the question that we started with. Who loses if I don't win? Maybe it's the person who hasn't slept in years. Maybe it's the mom who needs extra income. Maybe it's the couple praying for a way out of a dire situation. Maybe it's somebody who just needed one person to believe in them. But maybe it's even closer to home. Maybe it's your own situation. Maybe it's for you to free a spouse to take some of the pressure off, Maybe it's for the legacy that you're going to leave your children and leave your grandchildren. Let these be the things that drive you, that keep you in the game, that keep you focused, that keep you learning and always being willing to show up. So I'm going to give you a little call to action to end this. When you reach out this week and you're remembering all the things that Sarah told you and all the suggestions that you got from Kelly, excellent, excellent suggestions. And when you're leaving, maybe for the first time ever, that voice message on Messenger, don't lead with fear and don't lead from pressure because it isn't necessary. Just lead with service and lead with belief, the belief that you have in MPG and the opportunity for the financial opportunity as well as for your health. Lead with your heart. You know, it isn't actually about whether they say yes to you. It's about whether you are brave enough to ask. It's about whether you're brave enough to share. And it's kind of interesting that Sarah used this because this is exactly what I had wrote. After all, we're gold diggers. We're looking for people's goals. What do they need? How can we help them? And then the other thing we are is we are hope dealers. So let's go out and deal some hope because we have a vehicle that is like none other I have seen. I don't believe now in my lifetime I will see another opportunity like this. So we mustn't squander the gift that we've been given. If God has given it to you, do everything that you can to gain your confidence, to posture yourself in such a way that people will have to listen to you, and you then will be giving them the greatest gift that they've been offered for a very long time. Thank you so much for being here with and listening to me, and thank you, Mark, for inviting me, and for Karen. I feel very honored and very humbled to be here today.
Everett, that was incredible. Let's give her some love, everyone. Come on. Woo! That was fantastic. Oh my goodness. I feel so blessed. Like, oh, we're gold diggers, we're hope dealers, right? Who I'm saying what all of us wish we could unmute ourselves and say, who loses if I don't win? I think that hit deep, all of us deep down in our soul tonight. And Ev just has a God-given talent of articulation and how to package it and communicate it. And it's just thank you for blessing us so much. Thank you for sharing your own story, Ev. Again, I don't know how many women in particular you've set free because you had the courage to go first 37 years ago, right? When you weren't confident, when you weren't comfortable, when you weren't convicted, any of those things, right? So thank you so much. That was just amazing. I truly appreciate it. And I'm just gonna do a few closing comments here, ladies and gentlemen. Inviting involves kind of two approaches, right? You can take the bottom up, which is leading with the products, or you can take a top down approach, which is leading with the business. And the business really is about financial vehicle that we drive. And often we think that this thing is about money. I'm gonna give you a little different perspective. Our real currency here is time, right? I hope you can appreciate that. Time is what gives us choices in this life. But you got to have money to have time, right? There's 9 words that I spend my existence daily educating adults on, okay? And I ask them to write it down because I lead with the business every single time because it's about freedom. This thing is about freedom. And if you don't have your freedom number figured out, my goodness, please go study this thing. Go study by the numbers, right? You know, we've all seen this document. Go study that. Go figure out what number represents freedom in your life and why, right? What is your freedom number that's a comfortable monthly income that would allow you to live where you want to live, right? Do what you want with zero stress. That's a freedom number. So what we're offering is freedom to people. So I tell people, write these 9 words down. Money buys time. Hope you still got ink in your pens. Money buys time. Okay. There's a lot of successful people that have a lot of money, but you know what the flaw in their financial vehicle is? It's time. They think they own a business, but guess what? The business owns them. They can't take themselves out of the scenario and have the income continue to come in. There is a flaw. We're educators, okay? We have to educate people with the problem in their life. I tell people you'll never be financially free if you have a job. It's impossible. You have no leverage. The problem is you have no leverage. You need leverage in your life. So our job is to go educate the masses. So money buys time, time buys freedom, right? That's the key word right there, freedom. And the third set of words is freedom buys happiness. Go pontificate on those 9 words sometime tonight and tomorrow. Let them roll around your head. See what they mean to you. Make them personal. I found this thing today as I was preparing for this call. I have notes in my phone every time I didn't write this. Every time I see something great that resonates with me that I can maybe pass on, give someone some credit, and just because some people have the gift of articulation. This is what someone wrote, and this is what freedom means to them. What does freedom really mean to me and to you? For me, freedom isn't just time or money. Those although those matter. It's choice. It's waking up without dread. It's having the ability to say yes to what aligns and no to what doesn't without guilt. Freedom looks like building a life where my values lead, where my work supports my life instead of consuming it, and where I can be present for the moments that actually matter, right? That's the field trips with your kids, maybe. Maybe it's the moments with your grandkids being able to do something because you have time freedom, right? Identify that for yourself. That has to be your driver because it's got to come from within before you can convict it to someone else, right? Freedom looks like building a life where my values lead, where my work supports my life instead of consuming it, where I can be present for the moments that actually matter. It's growth without burnout. Oh my goodness, what a statement. Ambition without apology. Peace without permission. We speaking English language here. Like you don't add this into your stories you tell people, okay? Hit me up on Messenger or something. I'll dig it up. So good. And the beautiful thing is, freedom looks different for everyone. For some, it's flexibility. For others, it's stability. For many, it's finally believing that they're allowed to want more. So I'll ask you the same question. What does freedom mean to you? Because once you define it, you can start building toward it on purpose. So that's our Zoom tonight. From the bottom of my heart, I want to thank Sarah, Kelly, Ev, for pouring into us, for preparing, for taking your life experiences and coming from your heart and just serving us today. We are truly blessed and grateful. I don't know. I'm not one that subscribes to needing to pay a lot of money to outside trainers. I think this company specifically attracts the best of the best. We've got the best of the best here. And you can learn everything you need to learn by plugging in and leveraging yourself with those that have gone before you that have, had more conversations, scraped their knees more, fallen down, however you want to look at it, right? That's why they've grown in their business. That's why they've had the success. They've been willing to be consistent with their actions. And so, Candace and Kendall, thank you too, ladies, I'll turn it back to you to wrap it up. I don't know how we end these things, but thank you both for hosting tonight. You did an amazing job. I appreciate you guys. And Karen Ford, thank you for your consistency again. Huge love to you and speedy recovery to you in your journey. Love you guys.
Mark, thank you so much. Thank you to Kelly and to Sarah and to Ev. It was truly amazing. I have, again, lots and lots of notes, lots of just reminders, things to put on the bathroom mirror or write on the rearview mirror in the car to remind us why we're here. Who loses if we don't win? That one just right in the middle of my heart. And it's a reminder somebody is literally right this minute praying for what we have. And are we going to be available to deliver it to them? With that being said, I am sharing with you the reminder that we have a team event incentive going on for anyone who reaches platinum by February 15th, which is this weekend, Sunday. You'll have your name placed in a drawing for a coach handbag. So let's go, folks. We've still got plenty of time to get to platinum by Sunday. People have done it in a day, and I actually did it in 3, so I know it's possible. So go for it. And get your name in that drawing. I also wanted to share with you, let's see, I may have to stop sharing. I do, and then I'm going to share again. You may already know that tonight there are two opportunities for calls. Terry